Lexus, one of the things about Lexus at the beginning, or I would say maybe 10 years out, I think there was some concern that it was this refined, quiet, beautiful car that was just kind of moving along with its customer base.
Sure, right.
And you need to go somewhere, and I think with the LFA on the cover of Automobile Magazine this coming month, LFA,
Yes.
you have made a huge statement.
Look, I mean, we can't let the brand stagnate, right? I mean,
Right.
we can't. Something has
No.
to. You have to keep evolving and keep it interesting and fresh. I mean, for our own sake and for everyone who's a buyer out there.
The Lexus LFA seemed too good to fail. Everybody loved it. It sounded incredible. However, unlike the A in its name, which allegedly stood for Apex, the LFA was anything but, and would actually cause Lexus to take a rather hefty loss. So what went wrong? It was the start of the millennium in the early 2000s where codename TXS began development, a time where companies like Lamborghini and Ferrari were developing the Gallardo and F430 respectively. Toyota wanted to create something special that would stand out for their luxury brand Lexus. They wanted something truly powerful that could showcase the performance capabilities of Toyota and rival the likes of the Italian performance cars. The very first prototype was completed in 2003, and they were regularly tested at the Nürburgring. 2 years later, in 2005, the first LFA concept was presented to the public at the North American International Auto Show in Detroit, Michigan. It was presented as a design study with no plans for production. The very first concept had a glass roof and side cameras mounted in the side mirrors. Due to quite positive feedback from the public, it's no surprise that development continued afterwards with more of a focus on getting something that could be production ready. Around this time, Lexus was also getting ready to launch its F-Marque series of performance vehicles, and what better vehicle to be a part of this lineup than the hyped up LFA. It was reported in 2006 Lexus received the green light for an LFA production run. For this new LFA, the aluminum frame was switched out for a carbon fiber tub in an effort to improve the power to weight ratio. It was reported that some of Toyota's Formula One engineers were pulled onto the project as well, and it wouldn't be long until a new concept was unveiled in 2007 alongside the first production F-Marque vehicle, the ISF.
We first saw the LFA, an exercise in defining the supercar concept, at this show 2 years ago. We were very pleased with the response it generated, and after the buzz and the excitement following the show, something interesting happened. The LFA grew a second life. Instead of letting it go the way of most concept cars that end up rotting away under a tarp in a warehouse somewhere, the ideas represented by the LFA seem like a great story may seem to you. The LFA was similar to a story that you may have that sat for a while, not yet published. Perhaps you've experienced this, and after a while you revisit the story, give it another edit, a fresh think, and lo and behold, the piece was better than it ever was before. That's what happened to the LFA, and that's what we're here to show you today. The next evolution of that vehicle, which proudly wears the F-Marque. Wow, thank you. The goals of the new LFA are no different than they were with the original concept. Let's build a supercar with world-class performance. We thought about what a supercar should be, and then started to design what a Lexus version of a luxury exotic could be.
This new concept was built with production in mind, judging by the near production-ready interior. More aerodynamic body and F-Marque emblems. Later in the year, Steve Settle indicated plans for both a hybrid and V10 version of the LFA. In January 2008, a Roadster concept was displayed at the North American International Auto Show, the same place where the initial concept was presented 3 years ago. Later that year in December, there would be a trademark filing with the United States Patent and Trademark Office, with the concept name LF-A losing the hyphen to become the LFA. The possible production model seemed just on the horizon. Almost a year later, in August 2009, Toyota's new CEO, Akio Toyoda, publicly confirmed the production of the V10 LFA in his speech at a conference held at the Center for Automotive Research. In just a few months later, in October, the production model of the LFA was unveiled at the 41st Tokyo Motor Show. Akio said this car would be limited to a run of 500. The production announcement had also marked the 20th anniversary of the launch of Lexus. However, it wasn't all celebration. Analysts had indicated due to the high cost of construction and time in development, it was very unlikely that the LFA sales would turn a profit. In October, Lexus began taking orders for the LFA. And while the LFA did get a number of orders, it certainly didn't meet expectations. And production would end in December 2012 with a total of 500 cars produced, the final car being a Nürburgring package. In February of 2016, Lexus would confirm that there would be no new LFA replacement in the near future. So what went wrong though? Many believe it to be the $400,000 price tag, which if you look at the prices today is actually quite a bargain. But who could have seen that coming? And for less than that price tag, there were many other incredibly appealing options as well, such as the Ferrari 599, the Lamborghini Murcielago, or the Gallardo. And if you'd prefer to stage ADM, the Nissan GTR. And I think there's a general consensus that the LFA isn't a bad supercar, but it's a pretty bad halo car. As in, the people that would come in to look at the car at the dealership wouldn't necessarily be very interested in buying another Lexus model. So it very well could be a mix of that and just the competition. But even though it didn't turn a profit, was it really a failure? Or did it simply serve as an investment into the future of Lexus? After all, according to them, the LFA was intended to serve as a test bed for new car technologies, including carbon fiber mass production and related performance vehicle development. So, failure or not, I'll let you decide.
Yeah, I'm Paul Walker. Yeah. Actually, a friend of mine called me up, Jeff Westfall, and told me that he was going to be heading out, and he told me there may be an opportunity to maybe weekend drive an LFA, celebrate the 30,000th mile, more or less, on the car. And then that morphed into this. I don't know if this was in addition to at one point or what, but initially it was like maybe like a cruise on PCH or something, which is fun, but it's kind of like, eh. So when I heard that they're going to take it to a track and I'd be able to get a beat on an LFA, I was pretty excited, needless to say.